say eclipses are like destiny accelerators. Whatever occurs during an eclipse season, which is exactly what we are in right now, is something that is almost like it's kind of fated, is destined. And whatever occurs is there to support you to accelerate and step onto, to quantum leap onto a higher timeline. So right now we are in a season eclipse. So it's like a portal, an eclipse portal that we're in right now. And we're coming up to our first eclipse, which is a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And that is occurring around the 13th or 14th of March, depending on which time zone that you are located in. And it's like a full moon on steroids. So in this transmission, I'm going to talk about not only what these eclipses may be pulling up for you to kind of give you the heads up, but also specific grid points, grid locations on this planet that can support you. Now, this to me, this is the thing that I'm most passionate about. One of the things I'm very, very passionate about is grid points, is sacred sites. And the reason for that is that sacred sites are interdimensional, like they're stargates. They're places of power where we can go as beings to accelerate our own ascension process, to receive miraculous healings, to be able to receive downloads to support us to keep moving forwards in the direction that's most potent and most powerful for us. And different sacred sites hold different wisdom teachings, like different codes that, when you know how to, you can tap into to support your own ascension acceleration process. So welcome to my video, to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Chloe Cousins and I'm a grid channeler. I work with the grid and I also support and empower people. That's one of my apart from working with the grid, is probably my second biggest thing, is for me is to empower others. And it's to empower you to step into your highest timeline, to step into your destiny and purpose, for you to birth your spiritual gifts and to be able to manifest through your gifts. If you are listening to me right now, I believe there's no coincidence to that. I don't really believe in coincidences. I always feel there's a higher force that's kind of guiding us through all of that, a universal force. And though the people that I work with are very, very much, they're very passionate about their ascension process. I'm very passionate about tapping into their own unique gifts and, you know, living their reality from that place where they're working with their gifts, where they're utilizing their gifts, where they are of service to humanity, to the planet in their own unique way. But there's a whole unfolding that needs to take place, and the eclipses are so powerful in support of that. And I feel especially this eclipse that's coming up right now, and the reason being is that there's huge completions that are playing out, massive cycles through time, and just general astrological events that are supporting a completion of chapters in our life, closures, karmic closures, closures around our sense of identity, who we have been and who we are now stepping into. Two very different beings there. And this is what I feel this eclipse season right now that we're in is very, very supportive in that. So we're coming up to a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So the lunar eclipses are over a full moon. So a full moon highlights, it illuminates, it reveals, it brings up from the shadows that you were not really aware of. It was like what was in the subconscious. What we sometimes often forget is that the majority of our manifestation process when we're manifesting actually comes from the subconscious, which when you think about it, that very much is that divine feminine energy just there. And to manifest consciously, you have to work with the subconscious. You have to focus on allowing the revealing, the illumination from the subconscious for that to kind of bubble up to the surface so that you can see what has been influencing your energy, field, and kind of in a way sabotaging you. Now it could be an old sense of identity, it could be fears, it could be, all sorts of different things that need to be revealed to you so that you can see them. It's only in seeing them and being aware of them that you can actually change them. So this eclipse coming up is so potent for that. And it's revealing things in two areas of your chart. So it's revealing things around your Virgo. So whatever house you have in Virgo or houses in Virgo, it's revealing themes around that, and also in Pisces, what houses you have in Pisces, it's revealing themes around that for you as well. Now, when we look at Virgo themes in general, it can be around your day-to-day habits, your routines. It can also be around your health. It is the Pisces Virgo axis is also a health axis, as well as around your intuition, your ability to tap into your psyche, to trust your intuition, and to be able to receive those very magical and mystical downloads. So there's a lot going on around there. But for this eclipse that we're coming into, it's supporting you to see what maybe hasn't been working for you, to be able to see what's really going on energetically underneath that you might not have been aware of previously. And so there is a lot of illumination and revelation through all of that coming up this week. And it is all in support of a huge, huge rebirth. This is what I want to kind of get across the most here, is that we have got a huge rebirth coming up around the end of March, because we have the solar eclipse in Aries and then moving through into April and May. Huge rebirth. It's like there's a huge resetting point. But for you to really bring in this whole new aspect of yourself, a whole new sense of identity, and you really stepping into your destined path, it's going to take this bringing up to the surface from your subconscious what has been blocking you, what is stopping you, what is sabotaging you. in terms of emotions and perceptions, in terms of deep-seated, deep-rooted perceptions. Now, I feel a lot of this coming from base chakra themes, which around your sense of self, the I am. It's around feeling safe and secure. But these are primordial energies. These are really primal energies and perceptions that are locked into your base chakra, through which your whole energetic field and the way that you're running your energy is being filtered through, but you may not be necessarily aware of it. So this is what I feel is coming up for us. And this is one of the reasons why I actually was working with one-to-one client yesterday, and this grid came up. And this grid, so this crystal grid, takes you to the Gobi Desert. It takes you to a specific point in the Gobi Desert, which I'm going to be working with over the solar eclipse in my temple membership. I'll put the details below, and I'll also be doing a whole Ascension Upgrade over this upcoming Lunar Eclipse as well in the temple membership. Temple membership gives you access to all of my sacred site journeys. You just have them when, you know, just access them 24 hours a day. Also includes around 80 activation so that you can keep shifting your energy. So whatever reveals itself to you over this next week or so, you'll have all those activations to support you to shift your energetic field. And this is what you're needing to do. This is what we're all needing to do, is keep shifting our energy so that what is held within those subconscious, and bearing in mind that's probably about 80% of your awareness is subconscious, right? Which is why so much of the manifestation doesn't work, because most people are just working with their consciousness. They're not necessarily doing the shadow work, and they're not necessarily really going in at the depth that they need to. And all of this is what we do inside the temple, especially Temple Activate, which supports all of this. So because we're in this whole rebirth, I feel that many of us may well be pulling up subconscious trauma, subconscious themes around our birthing process in this lifetime as well as in past lifetimes. And I feel it's so that we can feel more safe in our body, feel safe with life, because so many of us have got coping mechanisms in place. And those coping mechanisms have served us well, but at the same time, they're blocking us from rebirthing anew, stepping into a totally new sense of self and a totally new reality. And so whenever you go through a really big rebirth, which is what I feel is happening right now for the collective, is that those birthing patterns that you hold within yourself of your own birthing process repeat themselves, unless you've really been working at that at a deep level. Now, I also have a program called Renaissance that works with that as well. So I'll put the links to that as down below if you feel drawn to that. But this would be an amazing time to really consciously work with real base chakra themes. So this grid point, this grid, which takes us to the specific grid point in the Gobi Desert, is going to take us to a specific cave. And that cave is called the Mother's Womb Cave. It is amazing. And when you go in there, when you you crawl in and you crawl out, when you crawl out and come into the light of day, there's this whole sense of rejuvenation and rebirth that has gone on. Gobi Desert, or this aspect of the Gobi Desert, is the world chakra for the root chakra. So what I feel is happening, and the work I've done so far with this grid point, it's like you're getting a new sense of root, because your root chakra, your root, and also your earth chakra, earth star chakra, the two combined are what enables you to expand. The deeper your roots, the stronger your roots, the more you can expand and the more you can grow, right? If you look at the similarity with a tree, the deeper the roots, the bigger the tree. And I feel that's the same for us. But for many of us, our roots have been weakened. They're slightly weak. We're running through a lot of scarcity patterning. We're running a lot of fear patterning through us. And most of us have done an amazing job at covering that up, right? Of pasting over that, of plastering over that, all these coping mechanisms. And there's 1,000,001 different coping mechanisms. You may be aware of some of them that you hold, that keep everything kind of in place. But when it comes to making a massive shift, which is what the universe and what the astrological energies are wanting and supporting us to do, then that's where we can get a bit stuck. Get stuck in that birthing process, because it's triggering all those primordial feelings of not feeling safe, of having fear, of scarcity coming in. All of these issues, base chakra issues, can get triggered in that rebirthing process. So this is where I feel really tapping into our solar plexus in a conscious way and using our conscious will in a really higher way self, so that we are keep moving forwards and not kind of allowing the fear and those sabotaging coping mechanisms to keep us locked in place. So it takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of, daily spiritual practice to keep tapping into what's coming up, see it for what it is, and then shifting it energetically. So again, this is all the work that I do inside of Temple Activate. And I'm going to be specifically talking about this on our Ascension Upgrade, which is on Friday, and also doing some energy work with the members, as well as looking at the Venus retrograde, because the Venus retrograde is what is supporting us to get really, really super clear on our values, what it is we really value, not what we think we value, not what society has told us to value, but what actually is really important to us. And again, there's a whole layering system around that. You've probably this has been coming up for you anyway since Venus went retrograde. And I did a big crystal Merkabah grid journey to Paphos in Cyprus, which is the birthplace of Aphrodite. And Aphrodite is an aspect of these Venetian qualities. So if you miss that and you want to tap in, again, Temple Activate, you'll be able to either revisit it if you've already been looking at it, or listen to it and absorb those codes from Paphos. That's really going to support and activate those Venus codes within you, so that you can really deepen into your self-worth, into you know, really valuing yourself, understanding what's really important and what you value just in life in general. Venus code also really supports with abundance as well. There's a big link with, and I believe with Venus, it's because it links to value, because the more you value yourself and the more you value your gifts, that then gets reflected, you know, radiated out into the world, and so therefore abundance comes through. I would say for most people, what we're really doing, and you know, is working with New Earth in terms of birthing our New Earth reality. And again, that's what I'm really very, very passionate about in supporting people, because the more people I support with that, the more we grow, the quicker New Earth births on the planet. And we all have our unique role. If you're watching this, I'm absolutely certain part of your unique role will involve your unique gifts, and there's all, you know, a whole thing around how you tap into that. That's at my higher level of, I have a whole program on that, which is called Ascension Vortex. I can link the details below for that as well if you're interested in that. But the foundation to it, there's always a foundation, is that temple activate, to make sure that you, at a daily level, you're tapping in, you're shifting frequency rapidly. You're able to tap into your subconscious, understand what's coming up for you so that you can release and clear. You have a strong vision. Having a strong vision is so, so important. If you haven't got a strong vision, you haven't got clarity on your desire and what you're truly desiring, not what you think you need to, not because this is what your parents said you needed to do, and you haven't, you know, really cleared that patterning within yourself. It's getting really clear within yourself. I have a strong vision, and that's what I do with the North Star Vision Quest. This Inside Temple Activate as well. So there's a lot there. So we've got this full moon in Virgo on Friday, Saturday, so it's going to hit that peak of illumination. And then we have on the solar eclipse, I think it's on the 29th of March, the solar eclipse in Aries, so brand new beginning. But what's interesting about that solar eclipse, it's also an ending as well. There is still ending themes, and that is when I will be facilitating live this grid point to the specific point in the Gobi Desert, where we're going to the Mother's Womb Cave. And I just feel working with the solar eclipse energy, combined with this grid point, where we're going to take you to that grid point, which works with the base, with that root chakra, so that you can decode to recode. So any decoding and recoding has to happen at the end of the day. It has to happen through your physical body, right? Because you are the embodiment, you're your vessel. And that happens through the root chakra. That decoding, recoding process happens through that root chakra, which is why I feel us all going to that grid location to experience that deep decoding, recoding through the base chakra is going to decode a lot of those survival mechanisms that you have, that you may not realize you have got, or that next layer is coming up, which is going to be revealed over the next week or so for you. And as you decode that from that system, you gain a deeper sense of safety and security, which is then going to enable you to feel more safe and more secure as you birth this new sense of self and the gifts that come through that. So it's really profound. I'm super excited about it because I know how much this has the potential to have a huge impact globally as well as individually, because the two are so intricately connected. What I would say is try not to put too much of your attention outside. This is very much a time about going within. This is very much a time of introspection, connecting with what you're truly feeling and thinking, so that you can release it. Do not get distracted by outside situations that are out of your hands. This is about you changing from within you internally, and from that positioning, creating a ripple effect outside of yourself. So be aware of the triggers. Whenever you get triggered, go within. Again, I have a lot of information of that Inside Temple Activate in my decoding program that's going to support you how you do that, so that you don't feel so triggered. Or should I say, when you feel triggered, you know what to do. You know how to go within, connect, so that you can get as much as possible from the triggers and what is going on for you, to keep clearing the shadow work, keep clearing it. And that's how you come into a totally new reality. So I really look forward to everyone that's joining us on Friday, and also for our solar eclipse to the Gobi Desert on right at the end of March. For those of you in Temple Activate, you may feel drawn to revisit the Venus Star Codes Crystal Merkaba Grid journey to Pathos, to keep going through those layers of self-worth, of value, of self-value, of understanding what's really important to you, what really lights you up, and also support bringing in through more of those abundance codes.